Welcome to Overcast. This is episode number 43 of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. I'm Frosty, and as you can see, the whole family is together this week. We have Overdrive and Softy with us. Guys, how are you doing out there?
Doing awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to be back with the whole crew here.
Good to have you back. So the formalities, of course, got to get those out of the way. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can also go to theovercastshow.blogspot.com where you can follow all the show notes and everything else. FrozenFoxRadio.com where you can learn about this, all the other shows on the Frozen Fox Radio Network. Go to our Facebook page. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube version, please give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And also the audio version, we'd like to thank you for listening to that on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and Google Play Music, or anywhere else that you're listening. Thank you very much for making the show what it is. And a lot of new listeners. The numbers are booming, so thank you very much.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know, right? So let's get on to what we've been doing. I can tell you that I've been doing a lot of back-end work for the studio. Frozen Fox Radio is going to be evolving, as you guys know. Not the all of you out there will find out very soon, very, very soon. So I'm just going to tease that. I've been widening my list of heroes to get better at, because, you know, I'm kind of like all Mercy all the time. You might have seen my graph, my hours played. It's kind of like, you know, there's a huge line for Mercy, and all my other heroes, there's like a little sliver.
There's actually just up high, and it says Mercy.
Yeah. It just says like Mercy and then other. It's 1%. And, yeah, other than that, had fun wrecking some face in the CTR tourney this week. I had fun. I still enjoyed being able to go play with you.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with the guys that we played with. Thank you, Frosty, Morrow, Greenbeard, Google, who stepped in. Frosty, who am I forgetting? Myself, Dax. Dax, thank you so much for stepping in. We really appreciated that.
Exactly. So, Softy, how was your week?
I did a lot of raging about an Overwatch CTR tournament. That was fun.
Slash rant.
Slash rant. We're going to take that. I'm going to put it over here.
There you go.
Other than that, I've been doing a lot of stuff in Legion Beta, as Wicked keeps nagging me about that I should be in Overcast, or Overwatch, excuse me.
You did it too.
No, I know, right? Actually, no, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, trying not the competitive play, doing some POG, some group. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. How about you, Ova?
Yeah, I'm getting back from the desert, man. Vegas, it was 110, 115. It was hot out there, but so I did get to play a ton of games this week. I did play a bit of Hearthstone as I was traveling, and that game's actually really growing on me. I like it. I don't know if Softy's a fan, but
Softy is not.
It's fun.
I love the solo play in it, but whenever anybody like sees me on the friends list and they start spectating, I immediately get so self-conscious that I just quit playing immediately. I'll just tell you that. So if you want me to stop playing Hearthstone, if you see me on, you want me to like play WoW, just start spectating me, and I'll quit my game.
It's good to know.
I am that self-conscious about how bad of a player I am.
Oh, that's funny.
So there you go.
Yeah, and other than that, I did the placement. Ended up 4 and 6, rank about 45, which I thought was pretty fair. There's a lot of skilled players out there, so I think starting off there is good. And with that, let's jump into, speaking of competitive, let's talk about that arrival to PC. So
yeah,
that just came out yesterday.
Yep.
So competitive play, yeah, super excited about this. I mean, everyone's been waiting for this forever, right? I mean, this is
since
the
beta.
thing. This is the thing that everybody wants to see, and it happened.
Patch.
And do you think there's been enough salt yet about competitive play already?
There's a ton.
Yeah, there's a ton.
The coin flip salt.
So the basics of competitive play, of course, you have to be level 25 and all that, and you just go in and do it. You got to do your 10 placement matches, and like you said, you did yours. I did mine. Did my time, I guess I'll call it. I went 2 for 8, which is pretty bad. Though we went to the sudden death coin toss 5 times.
Ouch.
We lost all 5 times on the coin toss, so that was pretty bad. We lost because we won the coin toss. That's the bad part.
Right.
And ended up with a rating of 42 right now. So a little bit low, but
yeah,
I didn't expect much else with losing that many games, but I don't know. It was, I guess let's talk about experience. I'm going to jumble it up a little bit. So there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on with this competitive, thing, and I don't know. I'm going to put it out there. What do you guys think about the level of communication? Like Softy, what do you think? When you did it with pugs, did people talk or no?
I actually got really lucky. The pugs I've done were all really good. Generally, one or two people would say hi, and they'd get everybody involved. The communication has been really good on the pugs I did. I do understand that's not the normal, but I definitely consider myself lucky.
How about you, Ova?
So here's the thing. When I did my placement matches, I queued up as a group. So I played with Floyd and Soulslane. We were going through the placements together, and we stayed in group chat. Just not thinking about it at first, right? That was a mistake. So you definitely need to, if you're in a group, you need to hop into the team chat. That definitely helped. It's not perfect. You're gonna have people that either don't have their sound turned on or aren't gonna listen, but your chances are significantly higher of succeeding if you do communicate with those pugs. And I think generally the people will cooperate with each other. So
yeah, I had a good mix. I had a handful of matches where people talked, and as long as like two or three at least talked, it seemed like things went a lot better. Not everybody had to communicate, but as long as there was like a handful or about half of us were talking, then things started to go pretty nice. A lot of other pugs where nobody talked, and those are the ones where you'd start the match and we'd be on offense and people would be trying to push with two Mays or something like that.
Double Torbjorn and two Mays,
Yeah, double Torbjorn, two Mays on offense, and you're like, what are you doing? People calling each other out in chat already, and it was like no coordination. People just Call of Duty it, like Ova told me before the show. And it was kind of crazy like that. But I have to say, though, there were a lot of skilled players out there, and all but like 2 of my matches out of the 10 placement matches were really exciting, really engaging matches that like went down to the wire each time.
That's awesome.
We lost, but they were really fun. So as much as I was upset that we lost so many of them, especially with the coin flip, I still enjoyed the matches, and then was disappointed with my poor little rating, but we'll have to just bring it back up, I guess.
Nowhere to go but up. I've actually heard quite a few people say that they were trying to lose all their placement and then build up their rating really quickly. I don't know if that's going to work, and it kind of didn't sound like fun to throw that many games in a row.
Yeah, but, that'd be a waste of time.
Apparently people are doing that.
Tanking MMR.
Well, I mean, I guess it's not hard. You just play terribly on a character you're not good at, probably for the wrong, attack or defense, or
and just turn off your chat.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, I could do that pretty well myself.
Yeah. So, like we said, after you do your matches, you'll get a skill rating between 1 and 10, with a higher value indicating a higher skill level.
It's 1 in 100.
Or 1 in 100. Sorry. Yeah, 1 to 10 would be kind of crazy, huh? Well, if you got 1 to 10, you're probably not doing too well.
No.
So I wonder what the distribution is, though. Blizzard has those stats, of course. I wonder how many people end up on what end, and I wonder how bad you have to play to get a 1. Honestly.
Oh, I'll show you.
Is there something you're not telling us?
No, there isn't. Just dreaming.
Are you talking about the 1 in 100?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be.
There is no minimum, right? So you could theoretically derank all the way down to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like in other games, like Heroes or even Hearthstone, there's a floor. You can't go below. So
yeah.
Well, 1 is the floor, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in Hearthstone, you start at 25. Once you get to 20, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
I think that if I read on Twitter, a lot of people are experiencing that you lose a lot more than you gain, too.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lose a lot of
you
matches,
gain a half a bar and lose a full.
Yeah, something like that.
Is that the way it works?
that kind of is lame.
I don't like that. I'm gonna go play WoW.
So we know from the Blizzard post too that the seasons they want to do 3-month seasons correlating with how they put it, like in real life time season scheduling or something like that. How they said it in the patch, I can't remember how they put it, but it's pretty funny. And because of that, this one started a little bit off kilter. So we're gonna do like a 2.5 month season for this one, and I think this is kind of their season to get us introduced. And I think they're gonna make a bunch of changes that we're gonna talk about later, based on some of the things they've said. And
Well,
of
I'm
course,
sure they'll keep updating it.
yeah, I mean, we already kind of talked about the coin flip a little bit. That's one
Yeah.
thing that's brought a lot of talk to the everything.
It should be just in my personal idea. They should just go to a flat capture the point type of map instead of attack defense. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut now.
And then, of course, your rewards if you're in the top, the very top. I think you get the animated spray that we talked about last week, and then also the golden guns, of course.
Yep. Did you guys notice that with the patch now you can actually look at your guns individual and separate from the actual skin?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very cool. I like that.
Yeah, we were talking about last week. We thought that might open up some cool things for the future.
Well, because that's honestly like if I like you get your awesome skin and all you see is your hand and a gun, it makes sense that that would be what you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
And of course, they got all the warnings about leaving matches and all that, and how that's gonna mess you up. So don't be doing that.
Don't do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
stop it.
Just bail.
Ugh.
Don't bail. I mean,
Yeah.
bail on bailing. So there was that. Ova and I were talking before that we thought the play of the match videos, a lot of them are broken. It's like play of the game seems fine, but we both experienced where play of the match in the competitive play was kind of wonky.
Little suspect.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get that fixed. We had play of the match was Mercy rezzing one person and then walking over to somebody else to start healing, and we all went, "What the heck?" Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So I don't know what that was.
I had one of those last night. Like they're in the same even round of the match. I like triple rezzed and like healed a tank to full, in probably about the amount of time it would take to to do that in like the play.
Yeah.
And then the play of the match came up, and it was me. I rezzed one person, and then I was running. And I was like, okay, that's that was really clutch, I guess. You know?
Yeah,
Powerful contribution to that
I'm
match.
guessing there's a waiting issue. In that same game, we had a soldier with a team kill, and you'd think that would get play of the game in that same time frame, but there just has to be a stat weight issue because it's every time it was a res, and so it was Mercy every time.
And I wish that'd be great. The other one I had was like a Torbjorn, but you would think the Torbjorn one would be like the turret killing people.
Just the turret, right?
It was Torbjorn dying and then running back. He didn't kill anybody. Nothing. It was just him running. And then I had another replay where the play of the match, like the play match replay, like started and then it paused and then it restarted 3 times and it just bugged out. So we didn't even know what was going on. So that was kind of funny. Everybody was laughing about that in that match. So it was like, good job, somebody, whatever you did. So some things like that, a little bit crazy. I'm sure they're gonna have to work on that, and
Yeah.
because it's got to weigh it over 2 matches or more, two rounds. So I guess the system gets a little weird. Maybe it's weighing your stats and stuff at different
That
time
could be.
intervals or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So how about that delay on patching for consoles, though?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't care less. I don't play a console. Sorry.
So,
Yeah, delayed about a week
Yeah.
for those guys.
Yeah. I think part of that is if it's like Xbox used to be in the old days, you have to like submit your patch to them and then they have to distribute it. So there's like a pipeline that it has to go through.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that Blizzard's ever really had to deal with this in the modern era. So I wonder if that kind of might have just caught them off guard scheduling wise, especially with like the last minute. Yeah, this is where we're going to go with and we're going to get it out now. And there just wasn't enough time for them to get it in their kind of patch cycle.
Do you know if that was like an issue with Diablo? Another
Um,
game that's console that would have to patch?
I think the content patches were more planned out that way. So I don't
Okay.
remember hearing about that
Okay.
on console, but I could be wrong.
Sure.
While I play Diablo every time it comes out, I'm not a hardcore player, so
Yeah.
I do not
same here.
know.
Okay.
Let's see. what else do we have on the docket?
While we're talking about consoles, do you want to talk about the changes to Torbjorn getting
Oh,
nerfed?
yes.
So
So
Torbjorn is his turret is actually going to be nerfed on consoles. So I would assume both platforms going to get a little bit of a nerf there.
I think somebody said the patch did already go through today or yesterday.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that'll make people a lot more happy. I guess they assume that we can deal with it a lot better on PC.
Right.
The did either of you play the beta or live on a console yet?
I have
No.
not.
Yeah, I can understand kind of why because I know it just feels a little bit different. I think you just can't react quite the same unless your skill cap is like way up here.
Yeah.
And you, Frosty, you play console. So is the controlling like the way you move? Is it just delayed a little bit, or
It's just like with a high DPI on your mouse, you can flick
right?
your angle of looking really easily. You can I think you can adjust the stick sensitivity, but like unless you're godlike controlling it, like you're gonna be a little bit slower turning and stuff like that.
I see.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they give you the aim assist too, because it's definitely noticeable in the game when you have aim assist on the
Hmm.
console, but it helps a lot. So there you go. Uh, Console players rejoice. So there's that, and I think one of the last things was Kaplan, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So we did get a PTR. I'm happy about that. And Kaplan talks a little bit about what they saw in the PTR for moving forward. First point, so some of the feedback that they're hearing is they like seeing the skill rating. Um, they like the strong, or sorry, the feedback we're giving is they like the strong lever penalty, assault map changes, pre-made groups called out in the UI. So knowing if people are in a group and can't hear you,
Hmm.
I think that's good. We talked a little bit about not liking the coin flip as much, kind of determining the match there, which I can see that that's certainly frustrating where you play 10 minutes and decide by a coin flip there.
Hmm.
Um, and then the sudden death may need some improvements.
Yeah.
I'd like to see sudden death just, yeah, change a little bit.
Yeah, they gave some stats about sudden death, and they said that in the PTR that it was like matches were only going to sudden death like 9% of the time,
Hmm.
and they said that on the escort maps though, uh, they said it was what 35%.
Yep.
Oh
And,
wow. Okay.
and the sudden death rates were anywhere like 16 to 18%, so they're getting pretty high. And
Yeah.
on the hybrid maps, there was the 29%.
Hmm.
So that was how many times people were hitting sudden death on those maps.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it in beta, but now I've seen it like a lot of games in competitive. It's a pretty high percentage.
Yeah, they want to kind of tone down how many times escort and hybrid maps are hitting sudden death.
Hmm.
That's one of the things they said they really wanted to get a handle on. uh, they did want to change some of the changes to make things better for the short run, I guess. The initial match time for the assault, escort, and hybrid maps, they reduced it from 5 to 4 minutes. If you notice, everything seemed a little bit shorter when you're playing
Hmm.
it. And the sudden death timer was down to a minute 45, which was so fast. It was like
Yeah,
It is quick.
you started
I
the
didn't like
game and it
that
was
change.
like 60 seconds remaining, and you're like, what?
Can't even
I gotta
run
get
to the
this done.
objective.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad if you're on defense, but it sucks if you're on offense.
Yep.
yeah, exactly. So, but they felt they were pretty happy with the format of sudden death, which I thought was kind of interesting. Um,
Really.
I think player feedback might change some of that. And they wanted to. They said that basically to get everything out and to kind of get it into our hands, in live, they just kind of rolled with it. But things like the coin flip and everything, and some of the format changes in those maps that we talked about, like the escort
Mhm.
and hybrid maps, it was so much of a system change that they would have to delay for a long time, it seems like. So that's another benefit of having the shorter season, that we might have to push through like a kind of crappier season, I guess. And
Yeah.
then, when come fall season, we'll get like a revamped system that hopefully will improve fix or get rid of the coin flip, fix sudden death issues. And I think that's really what a lot of people are having problems with. I mean, that was what my main issue was.
Mhm.
That and people not wanting to talk.
Yeah, I think we knew that there'd be a lot of changes coming out of this first round, and it's nice that it's a shorter season so we can hopefully get it fixed rather soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Did either of you play the PTR ahead of this patch?
Mm-mm.
I jumped in a little bit. I know that they talked about 10,000 being the limit. Do you think that that'll change at all? I didn't hit any queue times. It just feels a little small to me based on how many players are out there in the Overwatch universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have this feeling that there's a lot of people that really wanted to play the PTR and get in there, but that there's
Mhm.
also the feeling of if I'm going to play, I'm going to make progress on my character, kind
That's
of like
fair.
in WoW. And I
Yeah.
think that might be why you didn't hit any queue times. That's my opinion, at least. My guess.
It is strange that it has a 1% cap, though. If you have 10 million playing and only 10,000 allowed in the public test realm,
Right.
that's
Right.
only a 1% cap. That's pretty low, I agree. But yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, if I'm going to play, I kind of want to make it count. After playing the beta,
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm more interested if new heroes come out. I'm definitely gonna jump into that PTR and play
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
yep,
So I
That's
think you'll
a,
see those queue times skyrocket if something like that comes through.
yep.
I agree. I think that's going to be a big kicker. Like a new map or new hero is going to fill those servers.
Yep.
And something I didn't put on here, PC Gamer reported this week that while only being out for 8 days in the month of May, Overwatch was the highest digitally earning game of the month.
Wow.
So, yeah, stomped the competition away.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, bring it hand sign kind of thing. So, yeah, I think that looks like the news, isn't it, Nova?
That is the news.
All right.
So, want to jump into a hero spotlight quickly?
Hero Spotlight. I suppose I could do that. All right, this
This week you should have just done a bunch of beeps and bloops.
That's true. This week we're going to do Bastion. Bastion is actually a pretty simple review to do. Bastion has two configurations. He has his recon mode, and then he has his sentry mode. So his sentry is where he's staying put and not able to move, but has what feels like an endless turret on him. You will eventually have to reload, but it does take a while. His recon is where he's able to move around. He is pretty slow, but he can move. The shots don't do as much damage, but they can definitely take people out.
Oh, yeah.
And then he has his self-repair, his recon mode to sentry mode is his left shift. So you can toggle between those anytime you want. It's really nice and quick. His E then is the self-repair. Much like Roadhog, he can heal himself pretty much any time. If you can get behind a wall or something, you can get healed up almost to full, if not full. The only real special ability to talk about is his tank. His they call it the tank mode, which is his ultimate or Q ability, where he turns into a little tank and fires bombs all over, and they pretty much one-shot anyone.
Wreck a lot of people.
Yeah, they can kill. If you can get people grouped up, you can take out everybody. Bastion is really, really good on defense, obviously, where you have a point where you can set up a turret. Choke points are really good to look for, where you can catch large groups of people coming in, especially right at the start. When people come in, they may not know exactly where your Bastion is going to be positioned, so be able to take a lot of them out at one time. I love Bastion. I know it's kind of like old school now, but Bastion on a payload behind a Reinhardt with a Mercy, that's still pretty fun. Obviously, you've probably played Bastion if you're listening to this, but he's one of those really fun characters that is very simple but does so much damage, and he's really good in the right fight. That said, all of you attack Bastions out there, we need to talk.
Hey, I'll just say I saw an incredible attack Bastion in a match last night that just destroyed us.
Really? That's awesome.
And it wasn't like he was riding the payload. He would like go find a place on the map where you wouldn't even be looking. It was like up on like the side of like Gibraltar. He'd find some nook and cranny.
Oh,
and
yep.
he would just eat us alive.
Yeah, and
I like
if
I
you're
like
good
him.
at it, for sure.
I like him for eating away at those Reinhardt shields on attack or defense. I think he's a great counter to that.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
that's holding you back.
Yeah, I agree. And that's I know it's quick, but that's our hero spotlight for the week.
Hero Spotlight.
No.
Yeah,
Let's get
that
an audio
sounds good.
clip for that.
I need to play like the Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
There you go.
There you go.
Wait, I think I have that one. Second.
So there you go. Softy, did you have any shout? Or no, we got to do Ask Overcast. I didn't get any questions this week myself. I didn't see any. Did you get asked any questions this week? Either one of you?
I got to ask a lot of questions, but not about Overwatch.
That's true. Do you have any shout outs then, Softy, for the week?
I do have a shout out to Miss Noid, or Liz of CTR. She was awesome and sent me a little gift bag for my wife and I. Chocolates, Soldier 76, all sorts of little stuff for she stayed here at the CTR house for our meetup. And just wanted to give a shout out to her, thanking you. And yeah, I think that's it for the week.
Yeah. I want to shout out to my friend Dax for jumping at the very last second to make it so that we could play in the tournament last week. So
yes, thank you. And he was very good too. That helped.
Yeah, a lot of time in game. Any for you, Ova?
Yeah, I'll just make a shout out to Soul Slane and Floyd for braving the placement matches with me on the first day. So
nice.
Shout out to you guys.
Excellent. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you all for listening or watching, whatever it might be for you. Remember, you can always find us on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can also go to theovercastshow.blogspot.com for our show notes and more. Go to frozenfoxradio.com for this and all the other shows on the Frozen Fox Radio Network. Hit us up on Facebook. Like the video on our YouTube page if you like it. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see this and all the other content we've got there. And then also, thank you for listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play Music, any other audio source. All of you guys make this show what it is. Make it happen. So we do it for you because you're awesome. And you can see where I am on Twitter, Frosty Fox everywhere. How about Ova? Where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter or on Twitch at OvaDriveCTR. That's OVADRIVECTR. Where can everybody find you, Softy?
At old Softy.
Just old Softy, though.
Yeah, just old Softy.
He's not old yet.
No, not old. Old. Old Softy.
There you go. Well, that concludes everything for the week. Thank you all again. This has been the 43rd episode of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. I'm Frosty.
I'm Overdrive.
This is Softy.
We'll see you next week.